Okay, that should be live. Through Grisaia, load this save slot, yes. This was probably after we were sharing the scary stories. And then we just go back to school the next day, like usual. And now Yumiko's speaking. Just my imagination? That was close, you know. Indeed. Sakaki-san's instincts are remarkably sharp. When you're being followed by this many people, of course you're going to notice. Yesterday evening, I tried lightly asking the others about Sakaki's daily life and habits. But the answers I received in return provided much flimsier information than I expected. The one thing we know about Yumiko is that she doesn't let people see much about herself, much less her private life. Our only real glimpses of her thoughts are hints from her gestures and body language. In short, Sakaki's lifestyle is a vaguely defined mystery, even to the people she's been living with. Without an active effort of observation, things are likely to stay that way. That's exactly why we're investigating her habits, you know? Probably 80% out of idle curiosity. Makina and Sachi ended up volunteering to cooperate with my investigation. That cooperation has taken the form of an incredibly sloppy tailing operation that was nearly given away in a matter of seconds. To be honest, they're nothing but a burden. Makina in particular. Ask the wrong people. What's the matter? No, forget it. If things get bad, it's every man for himself. Putting aside your reflection on the basic question of why we're doing this for later, we continue our investigation of the highly mysterious Sakaki. My sore feet. I'm tired. Lying limply on her side of the sofa in the lobby, Makina mumbles a few grammatically scrambled words of complaint. Now we're trying to learn more about Yumiko, who's very secretive. Who doesn't reveal a whole lot about herself. In the end, we didn't find out anything. Well, her guard was even tighter than anticipated. After spending an entire day following Sakaki's every movement outside of class, we gained absolutely no new information. During her free period, she reads books in absorbed silence. Her pace in school was always steady and regular, without any suspicious, hasty movements. She doesn't feel human. She's a robot, or a walking rock. Just as Makina says, Sakaki's behavior was reminiscent of a machine. Yes, it felt as though I was watching a cyborg. You're one to talk. Well, whatever. You're not wrong. But I don't think I can be satisfied with this. From what I heard yesterday, Sakaki doesn't dislike being in a group with the others. Even if she doesn't participate in the conversation, the way she's constantly lingering at the edge is easily comprehensible from the perspective of human psychology. That doesn't fit with her machine-like actions in the daytime. In the first place, does she ever let her emotions show on her face? Apart from the hostility Sakaki showed me at first, I haven't seen any evidence of an emotional reaction from her. Come to think of it, although it might not exactly be the same thing. I have seen Sakaki-san startled. Startled? I think this was when we first encountered her, maybe? Or maybe the second time she was startled. What kind of surprise got a reaction out of her? In response to my question, Sachi continues in slightly hushed tones. It was an incident involving instant yakisoba. Instant yakisoba? Yes. Oyang's yakisoba with sauce. He cooked with a hole for easy drain of the hot water. It boils within 3 minutes. Not interested in the brand name or product features. What does it have to do with Sakaki? When making instant yakisoba, you need to drain the hot water, of course. When you dump the water into the sink, the metal reacts and makes a booming sound, yes? True, it will make a sound if you dump it all at once. Yes, and that exactly that happened to Sakaki-san. The yakisoba. Oh well. Sakai-san, are you just leaving this? Then I cleaned up for her and left. Oh, Sakaki did that? With that cool and calm appearance, you'd never think she'd be startled by something as small as that. In reality, she must have a pretty low tolerance for sudden scares. I kinda want to see that side of Sakaki. But I'm not particularly likely to run into her at the exact moment she's draining her instant noodles, and given Sakaki's personality, I doubt she'll make the same mistake twice anyways. Although I wouldn't mind seeing her cautiously filling the sink, preparing a strainer, and tensely draining the hot water either. That sounds cool. I want to see too. Unfortunately, I doubt she'll do that twice. That's just the hot water thing though. We could use another method, you know? What? Makina lightly jumps off the couch, floating a diabolical grin. We just need to scare the heck out of her. What are you saying? That sounds fun, but wouldn't Sakaki-san's surprise quickly turn to anger? When you consider the aftermath, trying a stunt like that on Sakaki seems like a very dangerous plan. I can handle it myself, don't worry. She won't find out, so it's all good. But Makina's malicious curiosity seems to outweigh her awareness of the risk. Sachin, she coming back soon? Yes, ETA to the front door is approximately 2 minutes. Intelligence arrives from her detached unit, namely Sachi. Now I just wait for the target to approach. This is gonna be fun. Is this really going to work? My plan's flawless. You just sit back and enjoy the show, alright, Oni-chan? This is not gonna work now, is it? This will not end well, right? I wonder if there's really anything capable of surprising Yumiko. Wait, why is Kira here anyway? Huh? None of your business. I was just curious. Sakaki climbs her way up the stairs, approaching the second floor hallway. In that instant, Makina calls out instructions into her cell phone. Do it! At Makina's signal, Sachi cuts the breaker to the hallway from the other end of the phone call. Huh? What the? Sakaki's taken aback for a brief moment. A blackout? What a nuisance. But her voice quickly regains its usual steadiness. Once again, her footsteps ring out in the regular rhythm. Most likely the target, due to her scaredy cat nature, will be on edge from the blackout. Right as Sakaki approaches the door to her room, Makina presses the switch in her hand. Nani? Sakaki trolls around at the odd noise but finds nothing more than a flower pot, sitting demurely on a nearby shelf. In the unremarkable earthenware pot, there's nothing but a small decorative plant. Sakaki sighs in relief after discovering the innocuous origin of the strange sound. But she hasn't taken her eyes off the houseplant yet. On top of that, by letting her taste momentary relief, we get her guard down. She presses the switch a second time. Just then, the perfectly normal houseplant abruptly splits in two down the middle. From its depths, an object resembling a giant eyeball emerges. Although it might be different under bright lighting, seeing that thing pop out even in the dark must be something of a shock. As expected, Sakaki freezes dead on the spot, her eyes and mouth open wide. Something that might be an attempt at speech and might be a simple gasp leaks out of her mouth. After a moment, she draws in a great breath of air. And in a loud voice that I never could have imagined emerging from Sakaki's mouth, she screams. The sound echoes throughout the dorm. It's not just that she's loud, unlike her normal low, vaguely threatening tone. Sakaki's voice right now is remarkably girly. Although I feel a little sorry for Sakaki as she trembles in terror, this is a truly interesting spectacle. Let's see what her face looks like. Is it lewd? You're evil. Truly evil. Hey, Churu, move over already. I can't see that well. Hey, Don't push, Makina. Huh? Losing their balance, Makina and Michiru tumble from their hiding position, landing in front of Sakaki. What? At this point, Sakaki finally grasps the nature of the situation. Yumiko. What's up? Seems like a blackout. Huh? Just then, Sachi returns with exquisitely bad timing. Well done, everybody! Mission success! Ah. Well done, everybody! After adding some exquisitely unhelpful lines, she clamps her mouth shut. Yumiko looks around the face of everybody on the scene and then glances down at herself. What's the meaning of this? Well done, everyone. The tone of her voice has completely returned to normal. Oh well, this is, you know, a bit of a long story. Yeah, Chiru made us do it. What? A setup? So you're an accessory to the crime. Now you gotta do the time. Then you do it too. Don't just blame it all on me. I see. Although I don't understand your motives, it seems this is your doing. I assume you're prepared to face the consequences of your actions. Please calm yourself, Sakaki-san! Yumi-chan's mad! Hey, why are you chasing after me? Wait, no! As the perpetrators scatter around the dorm, Sakaki tracks down Michiru. There's murder in her eyes. She's waving her box cutter around like the incarnation of wrath. Where did the person who let out that cute scream go? Don't think she's going to calm down anytime soon. Turning my back on the violent turmoil taking place on the upper floors, I head downstairs by myself. Yo, you're up early? I thought I would head to school ahead of time in order to avoid having to deal with any vile pranks. After that, Sakaki caught the criminals and beat the details out of them as they groveled in penance before her. As a related party myself, I was called before her to receive my own interrogation. In the end, she heaved a truly exasperated sigh, and without any particular retaliation, returned to her room with heavy footsteps. Good idea. Don't know about Sachi, but Makina and Michiru are probably still asleep. Sorry. Sakaki reaches her hand into the pocket, presumably containing her box cutter. Glaring reproachfully at me, I raise my hands dramatically over my head in an attempt to demonstrate my lack of hostile intent. You immediately thought of hard time for obvious reasons. Come on, you surely thought of that too, right? Actually, no, you just reminded me of it. And all the crazy shit that happened in that game. From all the characters' grunts to sometimes even being able to put a hit on yourself to also seeing two dudes making out. That was one hell of a game. Do you seriously intend to humiliate me any further? As I follow a few steps behind her, Sakaki answers my question with her own, her voice hard with an attempt at intimidation. I'm not looking to tease you or look down on you. It really is just a question. Make it brief. Did you know everybody had a late night gathering in the lobby 2 days ago? I suppose so. So she was aware of it after all. If you knew about it, why didn't you join in? From what the others told me, you don't particularly dislike that sort of event. If me being there made it awkward to join in, could you say why? I need to know before I can try to correct my behavior. I'm clearly an alien existence in this school, much less the dorm. I don't intend to trample on the native people's territorial rights or the dignity of their culture. Not that I plan to be particularly submissive either, but still. As much as possible, I'd like to aim for peaceful coexistence. Meaning I need to understand the boundaries I shouldn't cross. For that reason, I want to know why Sakaki absented herself the other day. Especially if it's connected with me in some way. It's not that there's anything you need to correct. In that case, why? After a silence of about 20 seconds, Sakaki finally speaks. I hate scary stories. Truly unexpected words. What did you say just now? You don't have to look that surprised. Apparently my face is easy to read as Sakaki reproaches me with a resentful expression. Like you said, I don't dislike gathering there, but just leave it alone. Everyone has things they don't enjoy. Judging from the way she got scared by the sound of a sink denting and the dramatic success of the prank yesterday, I did gather she was your standard scaredy cat, but it just feels weird hearing her actually come out and admit it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It just seems out of character. Let me take my earlier words back. I found something for you to change about yourself. That insensitivity. How about being a little considerate once in a while? After Sakaki speaks those words, she makes a beeline towards the school building, without stopping or looking back again. From her dignified bearing, there's not the slightest hint of the person who shrieked at that prank. Guess I should just leave this alone from now on. At the first step toward mending my apparent insensitivity, I decide to refrain from teasing her further. At any rate, through this incident, I've discovered that even this stone-faced cutter woman has her cute side. School dormitory lobby. Imprinting. Newborn chicks identify the first thing they see as their parent. The term refers to this sort of rapidly formed, durable conviction. Today, almost anyone you ask will have heard something about the phenomenon, but fewer know that imprinting isn't limited to the animal kingdom, but also occurs among humans, even average female students. This particular discovery is the product of my own recent experience. Good evening, Kazami-san. Yeah. When I leave my room, I find Sachi heading towards the second floor with a deck brush and bucket. Is this a set cleaning time for the dorm? No, there's no such schedule. Then why are you carrying a bucket and deck brush? I've just been planning to give the grand bath a quick scrubbing. If I remember correctly, you told me a contractor comes in to clean the bathroom. Yes, that's true, but the contractor said it's not like we're here every day, so please take care of the daily maintenance. So you're cleaning on your own initiative? Yes. When they have the time, Michiru and Amane also help out, so it's not as troublesome as it sounds. I guess that's sort of class rep-esque, but more importantly, you intend to clean that outfit? Yes. As wear a maid uniform when you can was everyone's wish. When you can, huh? Considering the vagueness of those words, I'm a little concerned about how she's interpreting them. So when you go out, what do you usually wear? A maid uniform? How about when you're studying in your room? A maid uniform? When you're in the bath? Naked as a jaybird. When you're sleeping? A maid uniform. I get the picture. Basically, she's in a maid uniform pretty much every moment she's not in school. No wonder the principal says she wears them more often than not. Wait, don't tell me you don't have any other clothes. I do. So what, you just really enjoy wearing that uniform? I wonder at first, I simply thought of them as clothes like any other. But when you look closely, the frills here and there are quite cute. The more time you spend in one, the more you can appreciate why these uniforms have stood the test of time. So basically she likes the clothes themselves. In that case, Sachi, let me give you my opinion on your style. Certainly. Fundamentally, men are simple creatures. Rather than clothes with a narrow appeal, like a maid uniform, we prefer a simple, straightforward, erotic look. In other words, naked as a jaybird? That's a bit extreme. Also, it takes time and effort to change that appearance of your body itself. So then, underwear? Right. For example, I'd imagine you're wearing modest underwear appropriate for a student, but what do you think would happen if you, the class rep, flashed everyone a peek at unexpected adult lingerie? What would happen? That momentary glimpse of your unpredictability would dramatically shift the way people perceive you. I see. The scales have fallen from my eyes. In conclusion, underwear isn't something you hide, it's something you show off. Keep that in mind. I see. Underwear isn't something you hide, it's something you show off. But if you go past the casual level with this, it'll backfire on you. Do it in moderation. Now she's gonna be telling herself that over and over again. Doesn't this girl literally do everything she's told? Doesn't she take everything super literally? At this school, there are students for whom common sense doesn't always apply. Doesn't she take everything literally? We might get to see Sachi in some underwear. In the classroom. And then there's Yumiko. I placed best she actually went through with it. In the classroom, too. Morning, everyone! Jambo! The energetic Cicada sisters follow. Good morning, everyone! And finally, Sachi in her underwear. Her underwear? Blah? What? The four others freeze up at the unexpected spectacle. Get changed into this right now! This is a top priority request! Coming to her senses, Amane grabs a maid uniform from Sachi's locker and throws it over to her. Ah, yes. As requested. I will now get changed. You don't need to announce that. Hurry up! Yes! That didn't last long. Sheesh. Once Sachi's on the spot, changing is complete. Amane sighs in relief. What the heck, Sachi? That wasn't on the level of a cat. Oopsie, I forgot my bra, you know? Well, today I thought I would try the underwear look. Why? Yesterday I was taught that underwear isn't something you hide, it's something you show off. What? Sachi's reply is a word-for-word repetition of my advice from yesterday. Although that's a minor blow in a way, it seems the warning I added at the end went in one ear and out the other. And these withering glances of scorn aren't exactly comfortable either. Sorry, but my proclivities are pretty normal. I'm not going to get off no matter how much you glare at me. Who the hell is trying to get you off? Could have sworn. I'm dying to know how you misunderstood the situation that badly. Okay, we all know. There's only one person in the school to get anything out of telling Sachi something like that. Then Oni-chan is the criminal? You're the worst. With Amane's words, the other two turn their glares on me as well. Well, Yuji-kun. Just curious, but you might have said something to Sachan yesterday? I didn't mean to demand that she come to school wearing nothing else. Even if you didn't mean it that way, if Sachi took it that way, it's the same thing! So this works on the same theory as schoolyard bullying? It's not like you're dealing with Amane here. Sachi's a pure girl. What is that supposed to mean exactly? Oh, sorry. Just a figure of speech. I don't think that makes it any less insulting. Those two clearly aren't getting anywhere, so let me explain this to you myself. Komini-san is, how should I put this, not the most flexible person. Frankly, she's diligent to the point of stupidity. So much so she'd here wear a maid uniform when you can, and then wear nothing else from the next day on? Right. Hey, what do you know about that? She told me herself the day I transferred in. Sachi confirms my words silently. Well, I was actually amazed you hadn't asked us about it yet. Ditto! Anyway, the point is that Sachi's innocent. She's pure white. I'm pretty sure I already told you this back when we were discussing the Swiss Army knife, but if you say careless stuff in front of Sachi like a certain someone once did, you'll end up crying in the end. True, it's pretty lame the way she keeps calling you Michiru-sama. Don't just word out the thing I'm carefully leaving unsaid! I thought she was indirectly asking for the follow-up, but it seems like she actually thought she was being vague. What else? One time, she tried to take swimming class in a maid uniform, and there was that incident where she suspended herself by a rope in an attempt to clean the outside wall of the dormitory. She sounds unusually athletic for a class rep. A class rep can't be picky about her work. Well, I don't think many class reps would try to sew in their clothes, let alone try to rappel off a roof. Anyway, that's how it is, so don't go feeding Sachi any more nonsense. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. And as for you, Komini-san, you're a girl, so I think you should be a little more concerned with your modesty. Yes, although it's extremely difficult to comprehend the appropriate boundaries, I will do my utmost. Alrighty then. Now that I've beaten Yuji into silence, let's get ready for the first lesson. Just curious to see what this scene was called. Meaning of the maid uniform. Was there anything like that in the conversation just now? It's kinder to leave that unsaid, you know. Komini-san has some surprisingly adult underwear, doesn't she? Apparently finished with their warnings and advice, everyone except Sachi returns to their respective seats. I'm sorry, Kazami-san. Everyone got angry at you because of me. No, nothing to apologize for. I don't think I worded my advice that well. I'm impressed by your willingness to put your body on the line. Thank you very much. So this time I think I'll teach you about how to casually emphasize your underwear. There's such a method? I feel the scales ready to fall from my eyes again. Oh my god! You too! Listen to what people tell you! They say that for a parent bird, raising one chick to adulthood is the work of a lifetime, but for a transfer student, making friends with a classmate of the opposite sex is pretty rough in its own way. Mihama Academy Courtyard. On dark nights, it's not uncommon to mistake foliage swing in the wind for the movements of a sinister human form. If you're alert, you'll understand rationally that it's just an illusion. But your senses feed off that instinctive twinge of terror, transforming the rustling of leaves into the whispering of a demon. To the shrubber tree in question, this quirk of the human mind must be irritating. They mind their own business, spend their days earnestly assimilating carbon dioxide into ligneous tissue, and this is the thanks they get? But the plants don't get the worst of it. There's nothing quite as obnoxious as the way people push misconceptions onto their animals. All too often, pets are treated more like receptacles for the selfish delusions of human beings than companions. What if every pet in the world suddenly gained the ability to speak? I'm sure their owners are dying to hear their thoughts, but sometimes ignorance is bliss. It's difficult enough to come to a real understanding between fellow humans. How much harder would that be when one party is an animal? Believing in the fantasy that our pets love us back must be more unpleasant than facing that reality. Hey, stop! Not there! Wait, hey! An erotic voice, out of place in the peaceful sunshine. In the past, Japan relied heavily on row housing apartments, with thin walls and nosy neighbors. Having sex in your own home could be surprisingly awkward. But as a result, inns aimed especially at couples sprung up, eventually developing into the famous love hotels, and modern housing circumstances usually allow for much greater privacy at home. In conclusion, having sex outdoors in this day and age is less likely an attempt at consideration towards your neighbors, and more likely an attempt at getting an additional thrill. We've got a pervert. No. Don't lick me there! Normally, I'm not in the habit of criticizing other people's fetishes, but screwing al fresco carries far higher risks than an amateur might expect. It's a highly unsanitary business. I got another new item in my inventory. I got the Sachi trading card. Oh, 30 cents. Is that Sachi having sex with somebody else? Doesn't sound like it could be Machina. Machina's voice is not that deep. I should tell them off for their own good. Hey, idiots! Did you at least put down a blanket? Huh? I've been expecting a half-naked couple tangled together, so I'm surprised to find Matsushima Michiru all by herself. I see. So you weren't a mere tsundere after all. You were, in fact, a sexually frustrated, perverted tsundere. Hey, who are you calling a pervert? I'm actually relieved in a way. You may be twisted, but at least you have found a path to follow. Keep at it. Don't put your hands on my shoulders and smile, I don't get it. What's twisted, my neck? No, your head seems to be on relatively straight today. It's always on straight, jerk. Listen. I'm telling you that I have respect for your deviant spirit. You're a first-class pervert. Appearing out of nowhere and calling me a pervert? Isn't that a little rude? What else would you call someone who gets off outdoors without thought for their surroundings? Huh? Gets off? What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm not a pervert. Not that it's any of your business, stupid. It appears I may have misinterpreted the situation. Of course she could be deceiving me. I see. Sorry, well, either way, I'll pretend not to have seen this. Why would you do that? Alright, let's say it was rehearsal for a play. A play in which you're attacked by a hoodlum. Your mouth keeps saying no, but your body says yes. Sound about right? There's no way I'd do something like that. Okay, so your body keeps saying yes, but your mouth says no? That's the exact same thing! If someone attacked me, I'd just say no! Across the board! What? Isn't the tsundere supposed to give in right away? Of course not! How did you even come up with that? Well, I've heard that a tsundere is a woman who says no when she means yes. Ugh, you're talking like a dirty old man. When a girl says no, she almost always means it, you know? And the guy does not get to decide otherwise. I see. The tsundere is more complex than I thought. Right, it's complex. But I'm a natural-born tsundere, so it's all a piece of cake to me. Piece of cake, eh? Piece of cake. Boom. By the way, what's with that black bushy thing you got hidden there? But I got rid of it! Got rid of it? Look to your left. So I point to her side. There's some sort of black lump of hair partially visible. Huh? Oh, yeah, right. It's a real problem. This guy followed me all the way home. He seems to like me. I don't know what to do. The lump of fur stretches grandly, revealing its identity. It was in fact a small black cat. The black cat coils around Michiru's legs, purring loudly. Unlike your average house cat, it's a bit scrawny and its hair is dirty and shaggy. Did he really follow you? It looks more like he carried him here. What makes you say that? Cats don't follow people around unless they're very used to human company. I can't imagine an animal that's careless enough to casually follow some random blonde around would survive long in the wild. He followed me home! It's true! You brought him with food? Nuh-uh. In that case, maybe it followed you instinctively. Immaturity might be a factor. Hold on just 1 second. Who's the immature one supposed to be? Sakaki. Sakaki, huh? So anyway, I thought I should put this guy back where he came from. It's not like I can keep him in the dorm, right? You'll help me out, of course. No. What?! Why do I have to play house with you? Do it yourself. Look. Didn't anybody ever teach you to be nice to girls? Anybody? Like who? Somebody, that's who. Who cares who? Fine. I'll say it. I'll tell you myself. Right now. Be nice to girls. No. What? Are you for real? Come on. You can handle a single cat on your own. There's nothing for me to help with. If you were in serious trouble, I'd lend a hand, but you really shouldn't rely on others for every little thing. You're cold as ice. Unbelievable. Unbelievable! Baboon. Alright then, you put that thing back where you found it. Bye. Hold it. Is that, really all you have to say? Not even the tiniest bit of kindness? You're really hopeless. Very well. In recognition of your empty head, loose morals, and general incompetence, I'll give you a hint. Thanks. Are you aware that cats hate certain scents? Citrus in particular? If you have something like that, it'll drive them off in no time. I heard that, but what should I... my shampoo is grapefruit scented. That's it. In other words, your twin tails are soaked with cat repellent. If you dangle them in front of that vile black feline, there's no doubt he'll flee. Alright, this mission is designated the Battle of the Bulge, Cat Edition. Engage the enemy at once. Huh? How do I do that? He's not vile. As of this moment, I'm designating the plastic ornament on the right side of your head, Alpha, and the plastic ornament on the left, Bravo. First, get Alpha in front of the cat. Plastic ornament? Shut up and move. Alpha, forward, attack! Attacking. Like this? Yes, right face. Now quickly rotate. Support unit Bravo to the front. Alpha, take rear guard. What is it that I'm reading here? Wait, what? Who's this Charlie all of a sudden? That touch sticking up out of your head, obviously. Begin vibrating it at once. This is Charlie? With feeling. Is he on me? He is indeed. Hey, you have anything to say about this? Analysis complete. Abnormal perspiration. Animal on head. Eyes like a dead fish. The above 3 points conclude my observations. Oh, that's not what I meant! How about an apology for making things even worse? Why did it turn out like this? Because your head looks comfortable? That's not what I'm asking. Forget about driving him off. He's actually gotten friendlier. True. The operation has failed. Retreat. Don't friggin' retreat. Take responsibility. God, you're hard to please. Guess I'll have to bring out my trump card. Hold your current position. I'll go get a bucket and water. Wait a second, what did you just say? I'm getting a bucket and water. Why would you do that? How could you even say such a cruel thing? Did you think I was going to dump water on the cat? What are you going to do? Sit on the bucket, drink the water, and take a break. Why are you slacking off all of a sudden? A water break? Are you stupid? Did you just make light of water breaks? You maggot, are you underestimating the horrors of dehydration? By the time your body is asking you for water, it's already too late. Regular moderate fluid intake is absolutely crucial. No, I know that. That's not what I was calling stupid, so, don't get all worked up. I don't want to get a reputation as a cat lady. The shoe fits. Shut up! No, seriously, it seems to have taken to you quite a bit. If you wanted to drive it off, maybe sprinkling water on it really is the best option. You do want to drive the cat off as soon as possible, right? Yeah, but you absolutely can't do something that mean. It's just a stray cat, so I think I can. I'll get the water. Don't! That's too mean to Kitty Meow. Huh? Kitty Meow? I didn't say that. I didn't say anything like that. More importantly, hurry up and do something about this guy. Right. Splashing water from a bucket is, then. That's absolutely not allowed. It's too mean to Kitty, this cat. What? Is that his name? Is what? Whose name? Is that the name you gave to the cat? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm asking whether you gave this animal that ridiculous name. Answer me. I didn't say that, and I didn't give it a name. Alright, get off my back. Boomo. Hey, why do you keep making me say these weird nonsense words at random points of the conversation? Oh ho, you caught on. I noticed this habit you have of repeating short phrases. So I was experimenting to see how far you'd go with it. Don't experiment on me. I'm busy. I have an animal on my head. Pushu. Push. Didn't get me. Intriguing, by the way, that kitty meow of yours has been licking your Charlie vigorously for a while now. Licking your Charlie. No, don't lick it! Not my Charlie! Shall I drive it off? Please, but don't use water. Anything but that. Understood. Alright. Here we go. Is Charlie slang for something? Sounds like it probably could be. I'm gonna turn to Urban Dictionary. The most amazing guy you'll ever meet in your life. Super athletic and has a hot body. A crackhead. Sweetest guy you could ever meet. A goofy person who many think is mentally disabled when first meeting them. Someone who always ones up Tyler. Perfect guy. Easily annoyed and confused unicorn was always being pestered by a purple unicorn and pink unicorn. The ultimate male find for any woman, and the person has both a penis and a vagina. Or a woman with an abnormally enlarged clitoris. As I take my first step forward, the cat leaps off Michiru's head and runs off somewhere. It's a bit anticlimactic, but I fulfilled Michiru's request. And yet Michiru's glaring at me in apparent displeasure. You'd almost think she really didn't want the cat scared off. Good for you. He ran off. Thanks. You don't look particularly happy. That's not true. Ah, much better. Much better. Who wants a stupid cat hanging all over them? I'm more of a dog person, frankly. As Michiru speaks, she's gazing fixedly in the direction where the cat disappeared, her expression wistful. That's a shame. Yeah, it's a real... Hey! No, it isn't! Ah, cats are lame! Like, so lame! That aside, I consider thinking a little harder next time. About what? The name. Kitty Meow is a bit... Ah! I'm so happy that cat's gone! Well then, how shall I amuse myself today? Even as Michiru spits out those strained words, she's walking off in the direction the cat disappeared. She's clearly gotten attached to it. Why hesitate to admit she's fond of the thing? Why not just be honest about it? Maybe there's something else going on here. Then again, expecting a deeper reason for a girl who named a cat Kitty Meow might be a little too optimistic. And as mysterious as go, that tra-la-lar she left also qualifies. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Although it seemed like nothing more than a bizarre shriek. Perhaps it's a special cipher that will reveal a coherent message when parsed with a certain algorithm? Don't think so. I mumbled to myself in self-derision. Habits are persistent things. Even when your circumstances change, they tend to stay with you. Take meal times, for example. I eat at 7 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, and 7 in the evening. If you know the time, you know how full my stomach is. My sleep patterns are even easier to understand. Unless I'm working or have something to do, my eyelids naturally grow heavy after 10 p.m. And I'm asleep by 11 p.m. at the latest. Even if I don't set an alarm, my eyes open on their own every morning. And usually find the clock reading 4:45 a.m. After spending 15 minutes half asleep in bed, I slowly rouse myself and apply the eye drops I keep cool in the refrigerator. Next, I drink a bottle of oolong tea, replenishing the fluids I lost through sweating in my sleep. A quick check of the weather outside my window, and I change into my sweats and head out for my daily run. These are more rules than habits for me at this point. Today, as usual, I alternated jogging with wind sprints, responding to the echo of the drill instructor's whistle inside my head. But at this very moment, outside my empty dorm room, a far from routine incident was beginning to take shape. I was heading back to my room after my run, planning on a quick shower and some breakfast when I noticed something unusual. Suo Amane was skillfully moving her slippered feet down the stairs, careful not to make the slightest sound. The instant I saw her movements, precisely those of an agent on an infiltration mission, I instinctively hid myself in the shadows. I'm now watching every move. Suo Amane. That woman. Could it be? There's a cold, sticky sweat on my forehead, and it's not the product of my daily exercise. Am I her target? Amane's holding a key in her right hand. Glancing cautiously around her surroundings, she moves to my door. She takes great care to unlock with a gradual, silent movement. Just as I thought, it's my room. I consult my watch. It's still early morning. There's only one reason to sneak quietly into a man's room at this hour. Assassination? I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that Suo Amane is an agent working for some unknown organization. But now that I think back, there were a lot of things that didn't make sense. She was aggressively friendly to me from our very first meeting, never showing a hint of embarrassment and pushing herself onto me. And yet she's never showed any particular interest in my past. Just how convenient is that for me? Her lack of interest in my past makes sense if she'd already received an overview of my background. At a glance, she's just your typical horny big sister role player. But that could be a front hiding a killing machine. A woman who takes lives as naturally as she draws breath. I hadn't read her that way, but that's probably because I let down my guard. unbelievably sloppy. If my master was alive, she'd knock me on my ass for this one. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good to be true. But even as I reproach myself, my chest is burning with bitter sadness. Oblivious to my silent regret, Amane eases my door open and begins to inch her way inside. Good morning. Amane speaks in a whisper, probably a safeguard against the possibility that I'd woken earlier than she expected. When there's no response, she continues to move into the room. I quietly follow, concealing myself in the shadows to avoid alerting her to my presence. Huh? He's not here? Where'd he go off to? Of course, she finds my bed empty. Looks around the room, door to his bathroom. What exactly was she planning to say if I had been taking a shower? What the heck? So much for my thrilling wake-up kiss. Say what? Wait a second. Suo Amane. Did you seriously sneak in here for that idiotic... No, hold on. Could she have noticed my presence? Is this all just a masterful farce? Suo Amane. You're one hell of a woman. Very well, let's just see how long you can keep up this little act. But seriously, what a bleak room. Mind your own business. I'm working on it at my own pace. Yeah, it's still cluttered somehow. Clothes all over the floor. A half-empty bottle of oolong tea just sitting there. They're going in the laundry later anyway. And I was going to finish that after my run, okay? I can't take this anymore. Let's just take care of this. She's finally ready to lay her trap. Or not. Amane picks up the bottle and starts to gather my scattered clothes from the floor. Huh? Is this his laundry he didn't bother to fold? For some reason, Amane unfolds the clothes in front of her face, buries her nose into them, and begins inhaling the scent. Smells like detergent, but there's this weird stink too. Suo Amane, are you a dog? Oh crap, the scent is actually kinda nice. Or rather, a bitch in heat. Are you a pervert? Hey, what now? Why are you staring at my bed? Wait, you. Don't tell me. Ah-ya! Yourself. Did you seriously just jump onto my bed? Totally smells like sweat. And now she's pressing her face into my sheets and snuffling loudly. Man stink is too good. Don't stick your face in my bed. Don't shake your ass around. Don't stick your face in my bed and shake your ass around. This girl really is a dog in human form. This is bad. I'm getting a little bit dizzy. If you press your nose against the covers and inhale over and over, of course you're going to get lightheaded from lack of oxygen. More importantly, is this what I think it is? If I'm reading this correctly. This woman is in fact a horny big sister role player. Ah, you can't, Yuji-kun! Stop! Restrain yourself! Allow me to correct myself. This woman is in fact a sex-crazed maniac. Drunk on the man stink that's apparently lingering in my bedsheets, Amane wriggles her body, breathing roughly through her nose. But watching her shameful display, I feel more relieved than anything else. At the very least, there's no assassin this stupid. Now that I think this over calmly, there's no way anyone would arrange such an elaborate assassination for me. A traffic accident would be more economical, and the cleanup after the fact much less troublesome. All that suddenly ridiculous tension I've been filled with leaks out of my mouth. At this point I finally notice that I'm very thirsty. Moving relatively quickly, I open the door to my fridge and retrieve a large bottle of sports drink. I twist the cap off and drink directly from the bottle, gulping down a mouthful of cold liquid. As the chill soaks into my parched throat and the electrolytes course through my strained body, I realize just how worked up I'd been over nothing. No, not there! You can't! Within her fantasy, I've apparently begun to reach my hand towards Amane's underwear. She's very concerned about this for some unclear reason. At this rate, I'm going to get a real show free of charge. What to do? Maybe the gentlemanly thing would be to go back outside and noisily pretend to return? With that thought, I start to return my drink to the fridge, but just as I separate my mouth from the 2-liter bottle, the liquid inside sloshes around vigorously, making a surprisingly loud sound. Who's there? Unfortunately, that sound shatters Amani's delusions just as she's begun a slow, inviting wiggling of her hips. She springs up out of the bed, her eyes wide open. Yuji? There's no time to hide. I'm standing there with a sports drink in my hand, staring at Amane, and she's staring right back. How long have you been here? For a while now. So how long is that? What was the first thing you saw? If I honestly tell Amane that I saw the whole thing, she might be hurt. Maybe I should be considerate and tell her I didn't see anything, but at this point, that would be way too barefaced to lie. So the middle ground would be to say I only saw the last part? Let's see, I think it was on you can't, Yuji-kun, or maybe stop restrain yourself? What's wrong? You're sweating like crazy. You want some of this sports drink? I already took a swig, just so you know. Isn't watching quietly kind of cruel? Why? Should I have sung a song to help you get in the mood? Huh? Wait, no! No! Why? Huh? No! Her legs buckling underneath her, Amane drops to the floor with a thud, covers her face with both hands, and breaks down in hysterical tears. Look, I'm the one who should be screaming here. Coming back to your room to find a woman wriggling around in your sheets? I don't remember learning an appropriate response to this particular scenario. Look on the bright side. At least you noticed me before you started rubbing my pillow between your legs, right? That's not remotely close to helping! Hey, Amane! Amane pushes past me and runs away screaming, still hiding her face in her hands. Although from the state of her ears, I can infer that it's bright red. What am I supposed to do with this woman? It's hardly that big a deal. But apparently I'm the only one who thinks so. A good hour later, it's time to go to school, but Amane's locked herself in her bathroom and shows no signs of emerging. What's the matter? Your tummy hurt? That's not it. Just leave me alone. You got diarrhea? Amoebic dysentery? No, I just want to be alone for a while. Oh, so maybe it's not kind of mad at all? You constipated? I said that's not it. Just go away. Sorry. Your period? I'll get the medicine, okay? Listen. I said you're wrong. Huh? It's not coming at all? Don't tell me you're giving birth in there! I said that's not it, goddammit! Well, the exact details aren't any of my business, but it seems that Makina's persistency eventually convinced Amani to leave the bathroom. Jeez, we're totally running late because of Amani. We gotta get a move on or we won't make it. I said I'm sorry. Don't be too harsh. Amani has her reasons. Sorry, Oni-chan. We kept you waiting and all. Come on, Amani. You apologize too. Sorry. Don't worry about it. This is almost my fault in a way. Forget almost. This is your fault. What exactly happened? I'll tell you when you're a little older, Makina. Don't ever tell her. Take it to the grave. I'm begging you. You can practically see the question mark floating over Makina's head as she tries to get a grasp on the situation. Meanwhile, Amani seems to be trying to get through this by force of will alone. The three of us leave the dorm and begin to run towards our classroom. What's wrong, Makina? You're falling behind. Run! Jeez, I hate running. Amani, you dummy! Look, how many times do I have to apologize? Alright then, Makina. I'll teach you a wonderful song that makes running more enjoyable. Song? What's that? What kind of song? called a running cadence. At my old school, we sung these all the time when we had to run. Repeat after me, got it? Yeah! Suamane is a bitch in heat. Rolling around in the man's bed sheets. Wait! This song! Good for you. Good for you. Good for me. Good. Why? It's fun. Well then. Shall we take a leisurely walk and sing some nice nursery rhymes instead? Don't even think about it. You'll make things even worse. Although I've been considerably trying to turn the whole incident into a joke so we can laugh it off together, things didn't wrap up that neatly. Maka enjoyed the cadence call more than I expected, and when she got Sachi to join in the loud chorus during PE class that day, our classmates naturally started asking about the lyrics. Amane's response was to hang her head deeply and vaguely mumble, I don't even care anymore. The smile on her face at that moment was truly hollow. Come on, we decided to do this as a group. You're in too, Yumiko. Got it? The moment I leave my room, I'm met with a shrill voice from the lobby. I didn't have any part in this alleged decision. Even so? Would it kill you just to go, if you insist? Every once in a while just to be nice? If every once in a while is enough, that means I can choose to decline today, doesn't it? Will you stop picking up my words? From what I can gather, Michiru is trying to drag Sakaki into some sort of group event. So, do those two dislike each other after all? Ask Amane, who's watching the fight from the sidelines, to clear up a point of confusion. I wouldn't go that far, but, you know, their personalities kind of clash. I see. Michiru tries to bring things together as everyone's leader, while Sakaki avoids excessive contact with those around her. It's only natural that these two would come into conflict pretty frequently. Let me be honest. At my age, I can't get very excited by the idea of playing dollies with you. What? Look, you, if you keep this up, I'm gonna get really mad, okay? That's so. Feel free. Maybe I'll show you a thing or two. Wave that thing around all you want. It's not like I'm scared or anything. Judging from the way she isn't backing down even with that box cut on her face, Michiru's gotten a little heated herself. Shouldn't we stop this? Probably. These two do argue all the time, but Makina's starting to get scared. I look down to find Makina hiding behind Amane's back, watching the scene fearfully. If you want, I can try to calm them down. Not necessary. We've got a powerful demon lord on our side. A demon lord? Alright, Sachan, you're up. Certainly. And so the fearsome demon lord, or rather Sachi, slowly advances toward her prey. You crazy? Sachi's obviously not cut out for this role. I thought you'd say that. No offense to Sachi, but when it comes to stopping an argument, I think it'd be more effective, Amane. Yeah, so you'd think. But it's actually quite the opposite. There's a precedent? Yep. I think this happened pretty soon after we got into the 5 members we had before you arrived. Something very similar happened, and I did try to break it up. But in the end, these two kept fighting as hard as ever. So I tried asking Sachi more out of desperation than anything else, and then... she pulled it off? Yep, and with a real bang. Makina couldn't believe her eyes. Sachi was so awesome back then. This is a little hard to swallow, honestly. Well, just keep watching. You'll get what I mean. Seeing is believing, is it? Michiru-sama? Sakaki-san? What do you want, Sachi? I'm kind of busy right now. Same here. If there's something you need, save it for later. I'm sorry, but this is a request from Amane-san. I'm afraid later won't quite work. More importantly, how about you put that dangerous thing away already? How about you reassess your way of thinking first? Excuse me? I have something to discuss with you two. Um, you're making everyone worry. Could you please stop this fight? Come on, Sachi. We weren't really fighting or anything. Right, Sakaki-san? Yes, of course not. Matsushima-san. What the hell is that? She just asked them, and she did a crappy job of it. And yet the effect was immediate, wasn't it? True, the wind has completely gone out of Michiru and Sakaki's sails. Oh, hey, hi Data, welcome back. I'm sure Sachi's making a nuag face at those two, don't you know? What's with the Hiroshima accent all of a sudden? I see. So this is the nature of her demonic powers. Hey, Michiru. What? Seeking further details, I capture Michiru as she totters away from the scene. But what do you want? All of a sudden. Why'd you stop arguing just now? Huh? Oh, you obviously haven't seen Sachi get serious yet. You wouldn't be asking otherwise. Sachi has a serious mode? Yeah, you've heard the saying, if looks could thrill, right? You need to record my voice and then hack this game with my narration entirely. You do know, like, both me, myself, and you would have a lot of work ahead of you. I've heard if looks could kill, at least. Yeah, that's another variation. Sachi's serious is exactly that. In other words, when Sachi needs to, she can fire glare power enough to kill? Exactly. Those eyes have 100,000 horsepower at minimum. Michiru continues to mumble to herself as she sits down on a nearby sofa. Komine-san. Is it just too much for me to handle sometimes? Sakaki, for her part, is unusually pale in the face. And this right here is the reason Saki's our class rep. Despite the fact she looks the most timid out of all of us. Because this place is basically a gathering of students with very strong personalities. That role needs to go to someone who can make everyone else shut up and do as they're told when that's necessary. And the one who can do that is Sachan, not me, as you can see. So it seems. Sachan is always saying certainly as she immediately takes on our quests, but for us that word feels literally true when Sachan says it. It really does mean that the problem will definitively be solved. You really place a lot of trust in Sachi's abilities. For sure, if you get Sachin mad, I don't think it'd be pretty, you know? Roar! And all that. It seems like I may have been underestimating Sachi. Hey, Sachi. Yes? There's more to you than meets the eye. That was pretty impressive. Thank you very much. Alright then, it looks like Sakaki-san's in the cooperative mood now, so let's go ahead and start the board game tournament. Have fun. Don't worry about the noise, I'm the type who can sleep next to train tracks. What are you talking about? You're not going anywhere, Yushi-kun. What? Like I said, everyone's playing. Which actually includes you, duh. I was drafted into this against my will myself. You see where I'm going with this, right? That's how it is. Right, Sachin? Indeed. They've been going at it like cats and dogs just moments ago, but all of a sudden it's an utterly united front. Might be a little late in the game to realize it, but I seem to have ended up in a pretty troublesome school. No matter how many times I've done it. Whenever I mix solution A with solution B, my hands tremble. Oh, just imagining that throbbing pain in my scalp makes me want to cry. But if I don't do this, the color won't stay this beautiful blonde. It burns with the fire of 1,000 suns, but it must be done. Michiru, I shall overcome. Alright, dab on the cream to protect my skin first. Here we go. Now to put it on my head. Including those high-pitched screams? What, did you just pass out? Although it's not uncommon to hear someone who acts in bizarre, stupid ways derided as a space alien. As a general rule, the aliens I've seen in movies possess advanced intelligence surpassing humanity's. In some they're even depicted as virtual gods, manipulating genetic sequences to control human evolution. Do aliens exist? If you ask scientific authorities on the subject, they'll tell you in all likelihood yes. But just as the children's eyes begins to sparkle, the scientists tack on a malicious afternote. Not that they're anything like what you're thinking. Even if we do find some alien water fleet wriggling around on a distant planet, I can't imagine it will inspire too passionate a response from the general public. The people don't want a ripoff like that for their ET. What they want is a simple, by-the-book alien. This is quite the ear-splitting shriek. There's considerable distance between me and the source, so there's no damage to my eardrums. But if I had to approach, I need to prepare myself a pretty decent set of earmuffs. Compared to the 120 decibels produced by the engine of a civilian aircraft, this is no match in pure volume. But when you consider the sheer unpleasantness factor, it's a pretty competitive match. Here we go again. Again? Mind explaining what's going on? Well, that's the sound of Chirichiru's ceremony. Once this starts, it keeps going for a while. How long is a while? Several days? Weeks? It's not on that scale. Even Spain's Tomato Fight Festival only goes for an hour, you know. Anyways, it's long enough. What exactly is that woman doing? Other than shrieking. I don't know that either. The Chirichiru's an alien theory seems most probable. I guess she needs to tell you like a freak to contact the mothership. Well, it's kind of a ritual. Communicating with the stars, eh? I see. Plausible. That woman is definitely a little out of the ordinary. Yep, just a little bit. Especially the contents of her cranium. I don't think you should necessarily talk. True. I shouldn't talk necessarily. I'm somewhat interested in the nature of this ceremony. Let's take a look. I don't want to see Chirichiru like that, so I'll pass. Like that? Like what exactly? I can't explain it with words. You'll have to see it with your own eyes. I see. Then I'll do just that. As I approach Michiru's room, I notice a strange stench in the air. This is foul. Some kind of gas? The membranes of my nose switch in response. My body recalls the tension of snow in the field. I was trained to retain the capacity for action in a cloud of tear gas, but the irrepressible coughing and running nose, the pain in your eyes, and the irritation of your skin will always lower your effectiveness. No, this isn't gas. I thought it might have been dispersed pepper spray, but that seems to have been a misjudgment. The odor is terrible, but it's not dense enough to affect my... Sounds like she's being strangled in there. What's this? The ceremony Makina was talking about? It hurts? What's that supposed to mean? The ceremony. Don't tell me it involves human sacrifice. When you think of human sacrifice, the Mayan civilization is what comes to mind. In order to offer tribute to the god of the sun, it's said they would paint a human being blue and gouge out their still beating heart. But ceremonies like that shouldn't be ancient history by now. In the first place, we're in Japan here, you know? But if Michiru happens to have painted her body blue, then it's bingo. What? She's emerged? I immediately tumbled my way across the hall with a skillful shoulder roll, hiding myself in the shadows and silence the sound of my breath. How much do you think they paid the voice actors to make these noises? In this moment I know fear. Not the fear of death or the fear of darkness. This is, in fact, a variety of terror completely new to me. To explain its nature concisely. What the hell is this? Michiru's body was not, in fact, dyed blue, which is all well and good, but rolls of cling wrap are draped all around her head. From inside, a mysterious sap drips out in globs. Just as Makina said, Michiru's irregular movements are reminiscent of a space alien. This must be the particular variety of terror that accompanies a close encounter of the third kind. If I'm discovered, all bets are off. It's that sort of fear. Michiru wanders around the hallway with vacant eyes. Her cries are truly bizarre. Is she receiving a message? Or could that shriek itself be a transmission to the stars? Michiru draws near. Her lips are trembling violently, and her eyes seem to have rolled back in her head. She passes my hiding place and wanders off somewhere. It's been a long time since I wished so desperately from the bottom of my heart, please don't find me. She's left a slimy trail behind her, like a slug. I thought she was nothing more than a tsundere wannabe. To think she'd conduct such a mysterious ritual. Clearly, I need to handle her with more caution. What on earth are you doing, lying flat on the ground in a place like this? If it isn't Sakaki, let me ask you instead. What are you doing standing up like that? As for me, I was just taking evasive action in response to a certain crisis. A crisis? That's so? Sounds rough. I stand up, brushing off the dust my clothes picked up during my roll across the floor. Incidentally, what are your thoughts on extraterrestrial life? I know it's a difficult question, but I want to organize my own thoughts on the matter. Please let me hear your opinion. Okay, so now we're starting to see some more interesting events from all the characters, pretty much. Sachi actually went to class in her underwear. There was Amane just sniffing the main character's bedsheets, and then pretending to have sex with the main character in them. She was fantasizing about actually having sex with him. Then there was Michiru with the mixing some solution to just make her hair like very bright blonde color, which is apparently a very painful procedure to just keep the hair that bright blonde. So she's bleaching her hair, but it's very painful. Let's see. Next year, I expect our battle against the stars to be getting underway. And Yumiko is a scaredy cat side. Driven by fear of the unknown, humanity's caution triumphs over its capacity for understanding. The result? The people choose to take up arms. Also, they can sleep better at night. A battle for survival, huh? Sometimes there's no room for any other choice. As there's an old saying, the first blow is half the battle. But then again, Napoleon's words, the battle lies in the last 5 minutes. I see where you're going with this. The War of the Worlds ends in the defeat of the human race. Is Yumiko the one who sniffed the bedsheets? No, that was Amane. Choosing violence as an escape from fear is our final mistake. Or so the novel wraps things up. Novel? Oh, we were talking about a book? Sniffed his clothes and then the bedsheets. Of course we were. What do you expect me to say when you ask me about aliens out of nowhere? I see. My bad. It's not really a problem. However, please try to refrain from crawling away through the hallways from now on. Crawling, is it? True, the low crawl they teach every SDF grunt is a method of advancing with your body pressed flat on the ground. So it's not surprising you'd see it that way. But I didn't advance even a single meter now, did I? Your powers of observation are still lacking, Sakaki Umiko, my friend. That's what we call the prone position. Is it true that we'll be having a War of the Worlds next year? Oh, it's Sachi. What, were you listening? I'm sorry. I didn't intend to eavesdrop, but I have to overhear. Sachi's anxious expression suggests he took my conversation with Sakaki completely seriously. I say that depends on the contents of Michiru's reports. If she really is sending transmissions into space, their contents will decide our fate. I wasn't aware. Michiru-sama is in communication with the galactic community? Humankind ravages nature and slaughters innocent animals to eat their corpses. If the aliens learn of our savage ways, we won't get off easy. If you want, we can go watch the crucial moment together. Yes, please allow me to accompany you. There, you see? Hey, careful, get any closer and you'll be in danger. What? Although this isn't the first time I've seen her like this, it's as shocking as always. Listen, observe with caution. Can you see how her eyes have rolled back? Yes, they have indeed. Probably a sign she's under the control of the mothership. The mothership? Kazami-san. Your powers of perception continue to amaze me. Well, it's only a hypothesis for the moment. What is this? Her body is switching rather violently. She may well be fighting with someone in the spirit world, but in the end we're merely spectators. We can do nothing but watch over her battle. To think Michiru-sama was in such a terrible predicament all along. I was utterly ignorant of her struggle. Then again, we can also interpret this in a very different way. To be specific, that's a dance. A dance? At a glimpse, it may look like she's going into convulsions, but there's also the possibility she's simply working on her moves. Practice for a liquid dripping from your head dance. Michiru-sama's style is quite unique. If you think of it as a modern dance expressing your inner self, I say this is actually pretty spot on. But I must say, I had no idea she was an expert in the field. I haven't seen her dance particularly often. Amada didn't pick up those cooking skills in a day either. Expertise is the result of hidden dedication to your craft. What a desperate face. I'm filled with admiration for Michiru-sama's dedication. I can't wait for the day I can see her beautiful modern dance bloom. Hey, you two look pretty friendly. What are you doing? Shh, keep it quiet. We were just appreciating Michiru-sama's dance rehearsal. Dance? Let's see. Ah, it's just their normal routine. That time again? Doesn't it just bring a tear to your eye? Well, I guess. But it's also kind of freaky. So I think I'll be going now. Don't you understand the magnificence of those movements? These steps express the terror of an invasion from outer space. Truly avant-garde. What steps? She's just writhing in pain. Philistine. To think your fragility would extend to the fine arts as well. Hey, hold on a second. What's as well supposed to mean? I'm not frigid. Oh, really? What the heck? Amane-san has taken her leave. What a sad human being. Can't even appreciate this work of art. Or whatever it is, since I'm basically just making up stuff here. I see. Okay, we bored yet? No, I'm still willing to continue watching. I see. You're passionate. I'm bored. Frankly, I got bored about 2 minutes in. I haven't. Michiru's ritual. Is that so? In that case, I think I'll restart my cleaning. Please excuse me. Good work. If you observe any dramatic changes with Michiru, make sure to report them to me. Yes! As I'm leaving, it occurs to me that Michiru's movements are also similar to those of a zombie. If that woman is in fact one of the undead, I suppose I'll have to put a bullet in her head. Compared to walking the earth as the living dead, I'm sure she would want it that way. Just when you think she's done, she keeps going! No, I think that's the end of her ritual. Mishima Cape, station area. When you take a walk like this, you realize just how wide a range of shops there is in this town. Just for food, we got butchers, fishmongers, greengrocers, and convenience stores. There's even 2 large supermarkets on either side of the station. In the town I was living in before, there was of course a shopping area, and its scale was adequate to avoid any problems in my daily life, but it was overall a pretty compact district, and most of the stores were small family-owned businesses. Doesn't even bear comparison to what you find in a town fairly close to the metropolitan area, like this one. Can't she just stop taking this substance? But if she does, then she won't have this bleach blonde hair that tsunderes are supposed to have by nature. Very bright blonde hair. And then won't be like this perfect blonde. Looking at the number of chic retailers of clothes, jewelry, and other non-essential luxury goods, you'll naturally get an idea of this place's relatively high-class population. So as what I'm currently doing in this affluent town, I had been on my way to buy curtains for my windows, heading to a hardware store Mane told me about. Had been. Right, past tense. I noticed a certain abnormality about 10 minutes ago. Specifically, someone was on my tail. I thought my imagination might have been acting up at first, but when I abruptly changed my course just to be safe, They came charging after me in a panic. There's no way this is a coincidence. There are 3 pursuers. Since they're following me in a group rather than dispersed individually, it's incredibly easy to tell. Pretending to look into the show window of a watch shop along the street, I casually glanced at their faces, but they weren't familiar in the slightest, and for a group with a grudge against my workplace, they seemed too far and sloppy and dim-witted. Basically, they just look like a bunch of juvenile delinquents. Although naughty lads like this exist in any town, it feels like you actually find more of them in well-off places like this. And they tend to be of a particularly ugly variety. In other words, yes. They say the poor can't afford manners, but I find that living in a place where everything you need is dropped in your lap tends to twist people in its own way. Forget about hard work and it's easy to fall into warped ways of thinking. Well then, what to do? What reason would they have for following me around? Although I've been thinking it over for a while, nothing is coming to mind. In which case, it would probably be best to ask them directly. Guess I'll lure them into some nice dark alley. Looking around my surroundings perfectly casually, I'm startled when something unexpected catches my eye. Ah, it's Oni-chan! What you doing here? Shit. Why did she have to appear at this, of all times? What? What's the matter? No, it's nothing. Are you alone? Where's Amane? Yeah, I'm alone today. Women have times when they need to be alone, you know. Amane said that? Nope, that was all me. Cheeky girl. Well, what can I do about this shrimp? At this rate, she might get mixed up in this. I thrust my hand into the rear pocket of my school uniform and pulled out 3 10,000 yen notes, rolled up with a rubber band. It's hot today, isn't it? Machina, feel like some ice cream? I can't eat it before dinner. Amani will get mad. What Amani doesn't know won't hurt her. I really want ice cream. Can I go buy some? But, please, I'll explain it to Amani so she won't get mad at you, okay? I don't need this much money, you know? Really? Then go ahead and use the change to dabble in the stock market. I don't think it's enough to buy any stocks. Anyway, ice cream. Head over to the Baskin Robinson on the other side of the station. Make mine a caramel ribbon. Then we'll grab a raspberry cheesecake and Patpong Street Shower double. Double or triple or whatever is fine. Get what you want. I've got a very simple question first. Why aren't you coming too? Because I'm too embarrassed to go into that place. Come on, get going. I feel a little dissatisfaction smoldering in my chest. But a good woman doesn't ask too many questions and trouble her man, right? Amane say that? Yep, that's right. Cheeky girl. Then I'll be going. Might take a bit, so please pass the time with some pleasant chit-chat. With who? While watching Machina trot off with the money clenched in her hand, I exhale slowly. The bunch following me doesn't show any signs of chasing after Machina and her money. In other words, they're not after me for my cash. If it's not a robbery, I guess that would leave a personal grudge or some sort of class resentment. Either way, not a particularly welcome situation. Well, whatever. After watching Machina disappear, I find an alley between a cleaner's and liquor store, and casually turn into it as if taking a shortcut. Hey, where the hell did he go? He run for it? Told you so. I knew he was onto us. Quit flapping your mouth and look for him. Christ, you guys are fucking useless. Huh? You guys? You talking to me? You think you're a leader or something? You want me to beat the shit out of you again? Huh? Yeah, I'm fucking talking to you. You sure got a big mouth over one lucky punch. What? You wanna go? Come on. I'll take you on anytime. Let's do this shit. Cut it. This ain't the time. Hey there. Huh? Where the hell are you hiding? Behind those beer cases. You need something? Wandering out all casual and asking if we need something? This guy's just adorable. Hey you! That's the Nihama Academy uniform, ain't it? What about it? Alright. Sorry, but we're gonna have to beat the shit out of you. Why'd you do that? There ain't a fucking reason. Just felt like kicking your ass. Got the picture. Hmm? Hey now, you're scaring me. Please stop, I can't stand violence. Aw, don't take it personal, yeah? We're just doing our job. Job? Shut the fuck up already. In the apparent attempt to intimidate me, the man fires a flashy burst of sparks from the stun gun in his hand. The discharge of electrical energy scorches particles of dust in the atmosphere. A burning smell fills the air, pricking the depths of my nose. I close my eyes. In the next moment, a siren rings out in my head. I'm in pouring rain, pushing through the mud at my feet, the taste of iron spreading through my mouth. Hiding my body from the light of the flares, a knife dyed black in my hand. Swallowing down my heart as it tries to leap out of my mouth. If you want to protect something, first protect yourself. It seems the time has come to make use of my super self-defense technique. The hell? Look, jackass. Just take it like a man, you'll get out of this alive, alright? As the man raises his stun gun and takes a fighting stance, I draw a huge breath in my lungs. And wringing out my voice to the limit, I scream. What? You? The fuck are you doing? Someone help! Call the police! Shit! Stop fucking screaming, you bastard! The man's stun gun discharges a threatening pale bluish arc of electricity in my general direction. I reach out and gently grasp his outthrust hands as I'm trying to shake. Well, I guess that's about what you'd expect. Huh? In this narrow alley, all three can't attack me at once. Maybe he planned for this sort of cramped space, or maybe it's just a coincidence from prioritizing ease of concealment. Either way, the iron pipe and the man with the black tank top's hand is cut very short. Not well suited for disabling me with a single blow. That said, the guy next to him with the knife isn't much use either. It might look the most dangerous of the bunch at a glance, but a weapon like that is actually a hindrance if he's not planning to kill me. In this situation, the flashiest, easiest to use weapon is also the most effective. The stun gun can stop me dead with a single attack. The ideal would be to fire off a single shot to eliminate mobility and crush my fighting spirit, then have all three surround me and beat me senseless. Hey, asshole! Get the fuck off me! You a fucking homo or something? Now that's just rude. I don't go around holding hands with men for the fun of it. Though it looks like a casual like draft, truth is I gotta hold on a vital point of the hand he's holding the stun gun with. When I put pressure on this exact spot, he can't push or pull as long as he's maintaining his grip. If he were to pull back hard using the weight of his body, he could rip his hand free. But I'm controlling a center of gravity as well, so that's sadly not an option. The fuck are you doing? Hurry up and get him! Shit. Get off! It's not like I'm grabbing you that hard. You're just like the monkey with his hand stuck in the jar. Might as well just drop the banana, right? Fuck! At my words, the man's firm grip on his stun gun weakens for just an instant. In the moment I feel the loosening of his proximal phalanx bones. I twist his wrist sharply upward, and dig my thumb hard into the side of his hand. By first extending the joints of his wrist, then attacking them with the pinpoint pressure of my finger, I've completely disabled his ability to maintain a grip. The stun gun slips out of his hand. Whoops. Catching the stun gun as it falls from the man's hand, I jerk his arm upward to immobilize his elbow joint, then push him hard against the pile of beer cases stacked along the wall. I mash the man's face against the beer cases while maintaining my incapacitating wrist hold. In the next moment, I push the stun gun against the scruff of his neck and throw the switch without hesitation. One down. Bastard. Here, catch. As the next man raises a short iron pipe above his head like a hammer, I abruptly toss the stun gun in his direction. Whoa! The man reaches out in a panic to try to receive the stun gun. Been a while since I've seen such a bunch of clowns. I kick my knee up sharply into his virtually defenseless abdomen, instantly doubling over his belly in an instinctive attempt to protect the place he's been attacked. The man's chin sticks out as if he's begging to be kicked. Well, if you insist. The air that was in the man's lungs squirts out through his nose as his eyes roll back in his head. He crumbles face first onto the ground. I'll give you 2 seconds. Drop the knife. Stay back! Get the fuck away from me! 1. I'm sorry. I won't do anything. So, 2. The man throws the knife in his hand aside and stumbles backward in a blind panic, trying to escape. And where are you going? I quickly trampled down on his foot from above, sealing his movement, then strike hard at the base of his throat with the joint of my right thumb. His throat crushed in the middle of a breath, the man's momentarily compressed trachea sticks shot under the inward pressure from his lungs, rendering breathing temporarily impossible. As the man claws desperately at his throat, his eyes bulge open wide and release a flood of tears. He falls with a thud onto his backside. I don't think we were done with our chat. You have to be patient and listen to what others have to say, or you won't get any snacks, okay? Alright, so... what were these guys planning to attack Yuji for? If your throat happens to get cut, you won't be able to eat your snack anyway, I guess. I've got questions. Would you be so kind as to answer? What, can't talk? Want me to open a hole in your lung? It'll release that air pressure so I can breathe nice and easy. The man responds to my offer by violently shaking his head from side to side. Don't worry, you got 2 perfectly good lungs. Getting a hole poked in one won't kill you. As I stand looking down on him with the knife in one hand, the man scrabbles desperately at the ground, trying to put some distance between us. Seriously, where do you think you're going? You want me to make it physically impossible for you to run? Just answer my questions. I'll tell you anything. First question, who gave you the orders? One of you said this was your job, right? But you didn't show any interest with a little girl with money in her hand. So this wasn't just a stick-up. Somebody asked you, right? To beat the shit out of me in particular. I don't know. That guy with the bandana got the job. Said he'd give us 300,000 yen if we got you. I just tagged along because he said I'd get 100,000. Didn't know shit, I swear. Screwed up. Should have talked to him instead of you. Still grasping the knife in my hand, I glance back at the man with the bandana. He's flat on the asphalt, his eyes rolled all the way back in his head. Drooling from the mouth. Well, whatever. Next question. Did you come after me knowing who I am? Do you know my name? You don't know. Just said. If there's a man in the Mahama Academy uniform around the station, teach him a lesson. That's all. Didn't give us a name. It's true. Well, that's as expected. The first thing these guys asked me was about the Mihama uniform. That's evidence that they were targeting a male Mihama Academy student rather than Kasame Yuji. That said, I'm the only male student at the academy at the moment. Ultimately, I was the specific target. But considering the bunch of clowns they sent, it's hard to think this has any connection to anyone with a grudge related to my job. So who the hell? And for what reason? First things first, doesn't seem like I'm going to get anything useful out of you, does it? In that case, might as well finish this one off. Wake up Bandana Man and squeeze it out of him. Stop. Please. What are you doing? Are you gonna kill me? Don't get so worked up. Rest assured, I don't kill people. Well, sometimes they might wish I had by the time I'm through. What are you quivering about? You that scared to die? I realize that I'm still gripping the open knife in my hand. Oh, my bad. I'll give this back later. I release the folding knife's lock and shut the blade away with a snap. I recommend not carrying toys like this around. Having one on one hand makes you want to use it. With something like this in your pocket, your mouth gets smarter. You start swaggering around picking stupid fights with people, and if you lose control, you end up doing something you can't take back. He's probably just trying to look cool, but depending on a toy like this, the prop of your ego seems more pathetic from where I stand. What's going on here? The blinding beam of a flashlight shines through the dim alley into my face, and I instinctively shield my eyes. All of you get out of that alley right now! Don't try anything funny. Yeah, no need to scream. I'm not an old man. My ears work just fine. What the? You again? That's my line. I have to say, though, the police force in this town is pretty impressive. Did you hear my scream? There was a report that someone was fighting here. I had a bad feeling about this, but I can't believe it really was you. What's that supposed to mean? Almost sounds like you think of me as that guy who's going to cause trouble sooner or later. Talk about rude. Forget what it sounds like. That's exactly what I think. But I have to say, even I wasn't expecting you to pull something this soon. Anyway, you're coming to the station. Come on now, I'm the victim here, you know. And what's that thing in your hand? Drop the weapon. Don't even think about resisting. I'm still holding the knife I took from the man in my hand. Guess I won't be able to talk myself out of this one. Damn it, guess that's that. What's going on? Oh, and of course, she has to come back at this exact moment. When I turned around, I found Makina standing behind me, ice cream cones in both hands. Who's this girl? Your younger sister? No, she's my classmate, I suppose. You make the girls at your school call you Oni-chan? Well, for some reason I've got the feeling this policeman's mental image of me is getting worse by the second. Anyway, you're coming to the station. Yeah, fine. Don't worry, it's not like I'm getting arrested. I'll be back as soon as I explain the situation, so you go ahead and head home. I drop a hand on Makina's head with a gentle thump. and used my other hand to take the ice cream chunk she brought for me. Thanks for the ice cream. Yeah. This girl was involved too, wasn't she? I'm not sure she can just leave. I said I'd come, didn't I? She doesn't have anything to do with it. Go ahead, Machina. Don't die. I'm not going off to war. Don't make that face, I'll be back soon. When I give her back a light push, Machina slowly walks away, pausing several times to glance back at me. After watching her disappear around a corner, I turn to face the policeman. Talk about out of character. Even I can be kind to children when the mood strikes me. That's not what I'm talking about. That thing. The policeman points at my hand where I'm holding my caramel ribbon cone. Mind your own business. I sink my teeth at the ice cream Machina brought me. And I casually eat the ice cream. As if nothing happened. And so I find myself in this sweatbox for the second time. Having been through this once already, I've gotten a little used to the place. While the uniformed cop was guiding me here, I looked around the station for familiar faces. I noticed the young detective who interviewed me the other day, slurping up soba noodles at his desk. Trying to send a small message of apology for the last time, I smiled and bowed my head lightly in greeting. The young detective scowled back bluntly and spun his chair away from me, still clutching his bowl. Possibly he's got some idea of my background now, as the gesture seemed to be saying, I got no intention of playing nice with Ichigaya. Either way, it was a firm and unambiguous rejection. With an attitude like that, it's no wonder the police rarely get any civilian cooperation these days. I nearly told him as much, but managed to swallow the words down with a smile. Looking at things from his point of view, I'm definitely nothing but trouble. If he sits down across from me again, I think I might as well come out and give him a vocal apology at least. But betraying my expectations, the person who enters the room is the sly-looking elderly detective I spoke with before my release last time. Kazami's on. You again? Well, 4 times. I don't know if it's a vocal tick or what, but this detective seems to enjoy repeating that word. But this sort of guy just loves to play this slow-witted old man like that. And then suddenly ask you how many times I did say, well, just now. To probe how mentally focused you are in the conversation. If you respond don't know, having thrown you off balance, he'll barrage you with sharp to-the-point questions. This is the sort of old codger you can never let your guard down around. I was the victim of a unilateral assault. I didn't go looking to cause trouble. More importantly, have you ID'd the people who attacked me? Yes, quite easily. All 3 of them have prior records for alerts in the assault, so we had them identified as soon as we took them in. Who are they? And what would you do with that information if I gave it to you? I'm not particularly looking for revenge if that's what you're worried about. Thinking about letting them into the gang if their background is right? That's a bit of a problem. Not to say that anyone would miss that bunch if they did suddenly fall off the face of the earth. But we're not running an employment agency here. Just a bunch of thugs? Yes. I don't think I can argue with that description. One of them has some ties to local organized crime, but... well, on the whole, they're exemplarily ordinary civilians. Exemplary, huh? And compared to you people, that is. You didn't need to spell that out. And they confess anything about why they attacked me? They spit all that out nice and easy. Oh well, how can I explain this? It's that net murder thing that's been all the rage lately. Well, I'm not that familiar with all this myself, so my explanation may be a little lacking. But apparently you can request a murder on certain message boards, and pay so-called executioners to carry it out as your representative. That said, the actual murder requests don't seem to be serious in most cases. Most people just put out the name of someone they got a grudge against, and then ask if anyone's willing to beat the stuffing out of them. Rarely ever goes above that level, or so I'm told. So they didn't have any idea of my background when they attacked me? Yes, we had a few of our youngsters take a look at the internet message board in question, and it seems your name wasn't specified anywhere. Safe to say they went after you without any idea of who you were. Who placed the request? Can't say we know that much, but it seems their handle name, or whatever you call it, was Mao. Ring any bells? Mao? No idea. You couldn't trace the IP? Right, not that I really understand any of that, you know? It seems our youngsters took a look in that direction, managed to get to the provider or whatnot, but it seems it was posted from a manga cafe. We did send over a few people just now. What kind of an idiot runs a public net cafe without restrictions on BBS posting in this day and age? Regardless, I don't think there's much hope of finding the criminal among their customers. It's all grease to a geezer like me. Haha, you know me. I just can't get with the programs. That gag physically hurt. If this was America, I'd sue. Well, anyway, it's a scary world these days. Please, do be careful out there, won't you? Sorry for the trouble. Continuing this conversation isn't going to get me any more information. I lift myself up off of the cheap folding chair. Please still don't be hasty. We still need you for a moment. You've already got my statement, right? In regards to that, are you looking to press criminal charges for assault and injury? Not necessary. I haven't suffered anything except the loss of my time and energy. Well, that's probably wise. Kazami-san, you overdid it a bit. If they came back at you along the excessive self-defense line, things might get a little sticky, you know? If the cards fell wrong, it'd be a charge of brutality by a special public servant. And with your organization, I expect you'd be paying your own way through the courts, yes? If they try suing me, I'll have a little talk with my superiors. You did say nobody would miss them if they fell off the face of the earth, right? Ooh, very scary. But don't worry, I think I can wrap this one up neatly enough. Next time I stop by, I'll bring a present. How about you don't stop by ever again? That'd be the nicest present. Ha 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 ha. Turning my back on the vaguely grating laughter of the sly old man, I leave the sweatbox. Well then, how do I explain this one to JB? It's all well and good that the police let me walk, but my problems aren't quite over. This incident must have reached Ichigaya by now. As my direct superior and case officer, JB will take in a lot of heat. In fact, she's probably grudgingly kowtowing to the brass right about now. I let out a short sigh, take my cell phone from my pocket and turn on the power. And then it begins to ring. Can I stop ringing now? I know how to make it stop ringing. I can just quit the game.